lay low. Tell me where's my raincoat. Gotta face the day like usual. These demons, yeah, I'm used to them. Won't let them get used to me. Wish I was how I used to be. So carefree, so optimistic. Never took a moment to stop and listen. I wish for time back. I really gotta stop that, cause living in the past is so exhausting. I'm getting older, it's never stopping. Yeah, break down, crawl into bed, face down. Is it all in my head? Am I safe now? Does anybody else relate? Wow, so many that are just like me, but still I feel so alone. And see the waves rush in, I'm caving in. I just wanna fucking breathe. Can anybody out there hear me? Is anybody out there near me? I don't wanna wake up scared. I've been running from this endless night.
I just wanna wake up with a calm soul. Wish I could overcome my obstacles. Always feel right through the coals. Wish the world could find a common goal, but I work through the night and I see that most people don't like the feedback. Most people don't really care, and most people aren't really there. So the darkness is my solace and the studio is my office. Tried to help out all my friends, but had to learn that some just don't want it. So I try to move on, keep it going, always write new songs. Take a break and then come back strong. Only path that I've known too long, yeah.
Can anybody out there hear me? Is anybody out there near me? I don't wanna wake up scared. I've been running from this endless nightmare. Can anybody out there hear me? Is anybody out there near me? I don't wanna wake up scared. I've been running from this endless nightmare.
Stressed all the time, I've been making my worst mistakes of my life. Still been searching for purpose. I don't know why all this pain finally surfaced. Stressed out my mind, made mistakes, but I'm learning. And I've been making all of the worst mistakes of my life. Mistakes of my life. Try so hard to keep it together. I'm running for cover, but that don't suffice. What's wrong with me? Feels like all these songs we're making just ain't songs to me. Just a way to ventilate the demons calling me. Just a way to keep me sane so they won't bother me. And I'm sorry I don't answer when you call me. I know you've been worried. Really nothing against you, just the way that I am. All the pain that I've been dealing with is gone in my head. No, pain goes on and on. I'm thankful, I'm so fucking grateful that I never let go.
Screaming all these melodies inside of my head. I hope I hear them when I'm fading, racing thoughts in my bed. I'll make you proud, I won't quit now. When there's nowhere to run, I'll stand my ground. No, I've been down one too many times, but I'll fight till I can find the light. I've been there, done all that before. Don't care what's one more war. I'll be here if you need me, I swear. I drag you down, but I know you still care. And if you hear me, I'm so sorry. I'll be better in the morning.
Rain goes on and on. I'm thankful, I'm so fucking grateful that I never let go. And I've been making all of the worst mistakes of my life. Mistakes of my life. Try so hard to keep it together. I'm running for cover, but that don't suffice. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Pain goes on and on. I'm thankful, I'm so fucking grateful that I never let go.
Yeah. I got black, I got white, what you want? Hop outside a ghost and hop up in a fan on. I know I'm about to blow, oh, oh, I ain't dumb. They try to take my floor, I take their ass for ransom. I know that I'm gone, they see me blowing up, now they say they want some. I got two twin Glocks, turn you to a dance dots, wanna link the game. I got red, I got blue, what you want? The Chanel, Balenciaga, Louis Vuitton. She know I got the Fendi Prada when I am alone. I needed me a diorama, I need me the one. I started from the bottom, you can see the way I stung. I want all the diamonds, I want that shit to wear a ton. The op, they tryna alarm me, cause they hate the place I'm from. But them niggas don't know me, they just know the place I'm from. I got lots of shorties tryna pull up to my place. But you ain't want me last year, so just get up on my face. They all up in my inbox, so I know they wanna taste. I know they want my downfall, a nigga, are you lace? I got black, I got white, what you want? Hop outside a ghost and hop up in a fan, I know I'm about to blow, oh, I ain't done. They try to take my floor, I take their ass for ransom. I know that I'm gone, they see me blowing up, now they say they want some. I got 2 twin Glocks, turn you to a dancer. I see 2 twin ops, leave them on a banner. And I got 2 thick thoughts, wanna link the game. I got black, I got white, what you want? Hop outside a ghost and hop up in a fan, I know I'm about to blow, oh, I ain't done. They try to take my floor, I take their ass for ransom. I know that I'm gone, they see me blowing up, now they say they want some. I got 2 twin Glocks, turn you to a dancer. I see 2 twin ops, leave them on a banner. And I got 2 thick thoughts, wanna link the game, yeah.
Told me that I'm too far gone and I knew it. I've been getting fucked up, I've been going through it. I've been screaming fuck love, guess I outgrew it. No, I ain't got no more trust, I be on my new shit for real. Told me that I'm too far gone and I knew it. I've been getting fucked up, I've been going through it. I've been screaming fuck love, guess I outgrew it. No, I ain't got no more trust, I be on my new shit for real. We gon' die one day, scares the shit out of me. Fly high one day, what they say when we leave. Oh, I'd rather stay on the ground going speed. But the devil, my passenger, sat next to me. If I get to see you again, I won't live. But it's not about me. Told me that I'm too far gone and I knew it. I've been getting fucked up, I've been going through it. I've been screaming fuck love, guess I outgrew it. No, I ain't got no more trust, I be on my new shit for real. Told me that I'm too far gone and I knew it. I've been getting fucked up, I've been going through it. I've been screaming fuck love, guess I outgrew it. No, I ain't got no more trust, I be on my new shit for real.
Yeah, I've been going through it for real. Every time I see you, I don't even know how to feel. Riding beamers in the sunset, it's a deal. Right hand on your thigh while my left on the wheel. And I've been through it all. Yeah, heartbreaking medicine's a fucking fall. If you text her once more, then I'ma kill 'em all. For love, if I fuck it up, I'ma kill 'em all. And I've been through it all. Yeah, heartbreaking medicine's a fucking fall. If you text her once more, then I'ma kill 'em all. For love, if I fuck it up, I'ma kill 'em all. And I'm sitting there so lonely. Baby girl, she right and she a timepiece. A timepiece. Baby girl, she right and she a timepiece.
Told me that I'm too far gone and I knew it. I've been getting fucked up, I've been going through it. I've been screaming fuck love, guess I outgrew it. No, I ain't got no more trust, I be on my new shit for real. Told me that I'm too far gone and I knew it. I've been getting fucked up, I've been going through it. I've been screaming fuck love, guess I outgrew it. No, I ain't got no more trust, I be on my new shit for real. I get chill when you near in the hills. I'm in tears. I get chill when you near in the hills. I'm in tears, yeah.
You mean I'm smoking green up in my limousine? What the fuck you mean I'm smoking green up in my limousine? Too bad to the room, I stress my thoughts, I keep it fucking raw. Keep a toolie on my head, I still cannot believe this shit. Go up and now notice it, my clip will leave you. Just what the fuck you mean I'm smoking green up in my limousine? Too bad to the room, I stress my thoughts, I keep it fucking raw. Keep a toolie on my head, I still cannot believe this shit. Go up and now notice it, my clip will leave you with this shit.
What you really mean when you say that shit? You wanna with a team, but you play like a bitch. If another slip that fit the script, motherfuckers really wanna go and back, target on sight. I go barrage you in my ace, so she gon' play. Want to stay, but not today. I sharpen blades, I'm blazing, burn the station. When they waiting, I'm a patient. I'm in my blood, but I'm Irish with the club. Got my iris up above, yeah, Osiris on the run. It's a game under concrete, yeah, to blaze up in the street. Bounce a flame up when I speak, they throw my name up cause they weak.
Good morning. How's everybody doing today? Nana, good morning. I was tempted to stream to Twitch this morning. I don't know why. Out of nowhere. Twitch is just a certain vibe, you know? All right, gotta watch this put together, sort of. Nothing too exciting. SPY is coming down, and it's bringing a lot down with it. UPST is kind of trading against it. It's up 26% though. But you can see SPY is just tanking right now. Yeah, it is Wednesday. We've had so many 1% days recently. Like, tiny candles, ever since the start of December, every day has pretty much been plus or minus 1%. That's kind of crazy. It's really crazy. For this early in the morning, you know? A lot of gaps. Alright. UPST, pretty big of a gap, so I'm not too sure on a breakout on that one. It needs to have good volume. AYX does not look good. SLB curling down. Even the 2-minute, 2 hammer candles in a row. Messy. DVN, a little bit better with the doji before the reversal, trading with SPY. Yeah, SPY's just ruining everything right now. And then the gap downs aren't plummeting down with SPY. Very choppy, lots of gaps in between the 1 minute candles, even in Roku, which is normally pretty good to trade. Look at this. This gap from the close of this green candle to the open of this one. So sloppy. Maybe a lunchtime reversal, or a reversal into lunchtime. Maybe. Yeah, we'll see. What are you watching? Nothing looks good on my end.
Foolishly hoping for purpose to come and find me in the depths of depression is where I've been residing. That are in my room under my covers just hiding. I wish I was dead and cold. I wish I was. Put me in the grave today. Black suit, red bouquet. Too scared to leave, but
Decent breakdown, honestly, but nothing really followed it in a clean way. Maybe, no, Etsy wouldn't have been down 4% for an OBD. Same with Roku. And this wick is just sloppy. Now we get a green candle. UPST is almost looking like our best bet if it breaks out over high of day 144. But I'd like to see it reject 144 one more time, double top, give us a tighter stop. You're short Roblox. It's one of your family of stocks. Where are you short from? Down 24%. Hold up. Why is Roblox not? Oh. No? That's why. This was not sorted. Okay. Wix, Viacom is moving. We haven't seen Viacom move in a while. That was moving back with AMC, GME, all the meme stocks. There's some big issue. Remember how there's that Chinese investor who defaulted on a bunch of loans and lost US banks like billions of dollars. Decent breakdown. Okay. You're short where? Stopped out. How did you get stopped out? Where did you go short? Please say you didn't go even if you went short on the low of day break, off of this pullback, your stop would be over this green candle. So you're not... Dude, what was your trade? What was your trade plan? This is the only feasible thing I could see, unless you're trading somewhere up here, in which case you still wouldn't be stopped out. If you're taking this on the way down and your target is low of day, I could see that. Here's a trade. Right there. Stop over previous high, take it down on this breakdown. At this point, previous high would be like that, because you'd enter on this candle. Come down, take profit 55.55, maybe hold it down to 55 whole number and set your profit stop for 1R. Otherwise, I don't see what you were doing. Because even this, even with a target of 55 whole number, this is still 1R. How did you get stopped out on the low of day break? Unless your target wasn't 55. You might get stopped out here, but your stop is the previous high, because until it breaks that, it's still downtrending, right? You want to hold on to a short while it's downtrending, that's the point. But it's a penny off from stopping here. And then, honestly, because this is 55.99, I would put this a penny over that whole number to give it a chance for that whole number to also reject the price action, which it's doing right now. So your stop would be 56.01. You have a 49-cent stop and a 50-cent target. That's 1R you would have filled. You would have filled at 55. 55.01 technically. 1 penny above because of this. The spread is actually a few cents. Maybe 2-3 pennies above. You would have gotten filled, hit your target. Either way, even if that wasn't your target, you're still not stopped out, because until it gets over this level, 56 whole number, the previous high, as well as the next major resistance level, until it gets over that, it's still downtrending. It's still very bearish, especially after such a big move. That's where it comes in, Junior, the setting a stop beforehand. We talked about this yesterday. Your trading style currently of not creating a specific trade plan and just having a fluid mental stop. This is where it comes in. Even if this does stop out, that's still a 1-hour trade. Hit profit target. What was your target in this case? Down 24% already. I wouldn't expect it to do too much. We have 53.63 as a previous low, but it's a massive wick. We're just playing around in that range. And if you look closely, the SR level here is at 56. We're already below that. And on the hourly, it's 55 whole number. So that the support level on that low is 55 whole number on the hourly. And if you're going less than an hour for a month ago, that's a little bit too much. Yeah, so using the psychological of all-time low, you have to look into that a little bit more, because there's more support levels there. And even if that is your target, all-time low, I don't see how you get stopped out here. It's still trending down. It rejected the resistance level, which is the whole point of resistance. What was your stop loss? There's a stop out. My stop loss is always the same, few cents. That doesn't make sense. It's always the same, few cents from entry price. Why would you? I could imagine that you get stopped out on a lot of trades then and miss out on a lot of profits like this 1R. Well, that's probably just based on you not having your target at 55. Either way, okay, stopped out now. So maybe my argument's not going to be as strong, but it still should be. Having it just an arbitrary stop a few cents from your entry price, first of all, a few cents, the spread right now is 4 cents. It's going from 4 to 6 cents spread. So your stop is the spread. You can get filled on a single order. If somebody places a big enough market order, you'll get filled, even if the price action, even if the whole market sentiment doesn't want the price to go up that much. You can get stopped out on one single order. And a few cents is completely arbitrary. What if it's a $100 stock or a $200 stock or a $10 stock? Still a few cents? That percentage is drastically different. And then, what does a few cents even mean? When you're looking at this chart, why a few cents? Where does that come from? Genuinely. Like, why, when you're thinking when you take the trade, when you're taking this trade and you're thinking, at what price would I no longer want to hold this short? Because if I continue holding it short at that price, I have zero bias right now. I'm not in the trade yet. At what price do I no longer want to hold this short? Well, if it gets above a few cents, I don't want to hold it short because that means that it's more likely to go up than down at that point. So I'll set my stop for a few cents above my entry. Versus, at what price do I no longer want to hold this short? Because if I do, it's more likely to go up. I'd say over this 56 whole number, it's the previous high on this downtrend. It's a nice whole number, psychological resistance level, a little bit of horizontal resistance even. Tested a couple times. Yeah, if it gets above that, then this stock is probably more likely to continue up than down. And so I lose my edge. It's no longer in my favor. The probability is not in my favor. So I would no longer want to hold this short. I make that decision now when I have zero bias and take the trade. Trying to catch momentum as stock pulls back from the entry price. I don't want to stick along for fake out crush premiums. Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. I know it's your personal way of trading. I'm not trying to bash on that. But I see you get stopped out a lot. And I see you miss out on profits a lot. And I also see you get out of your profits early a lot. I've been teaching this for a while. I've seen this exact same pattern in numerous other traders before. So when I'm telling you a certain series of lessons, there's a reason for that, because it's a pattern. This is a behavior that a lot of traders experience. The sequence of happenstances that you find yourself in the stock market as you're trading with your personal way of trading, there's a reason. See, even me, I would have gotten stopped out on this one before the big move comes down. But that's also inherent with a 24% move down. That's why I often avoid like OBDs and low of day breakdowns on stocks that are gapped more than 20% at the current moment, because it can pull back and still be very bearish. Unless it's something with like a very wide stop, like your stop is up here at 57 and your target is at that 53, whatever it was, 53.63 all-time low. If this is the case, this is another trade you could be taking. And in this case, you'd probably want to be watching this on multiple time frames. 2 minute, yeah, I like that breakdown of this hammer candle. I still like this stop placement over this green. This is still the previous high. Honestly, probably would have entered up here. You see how this is very different? It's a wider stop. So I understand where you're coming from when you're setting your stop just a few cents over your entry, because you either catch the momentum on the quick breakdown or you don't want it at all. It's a scalping method of trading, and scalping does work in some instances, usually only if you have a really high account balance and you can afford to have a 30% win rate. And if you have a 30% win rate, you need to carry your wins all the way through and actually catch the momentum. So I guess here's the biggest point, Junior, is you have two things going on. On one side, you're doing a scalping method of trading where you're catching this quick burst of momentum with a very tight stop. Very easy to get stopped out. You get stopped out a lot, but when you don't get stopped out, the move can make a really big move. And you're honing in on that tool. You're sharpening that tool every single day to make yourself better and better and better at noticing that momentum the moment it happens. On the other side, you are not holding your wins all the way through. So even when you do catch that massive momentum, you're cutting it off at its legs and you're not securing that profit. You're not securing enough profit to cover the number of times you get stopped out. You have to pick one or the other. There's nothing insanely inherently wrong with either one. There's just something wrong with the combination of the two. Now you could either change both of them or just change one of them, but something has to change. Either you adjust your structure so that you get stopped out less and have a higher win rate if you're not going to hold your wins as long, or you work on holding your wins longer so that even if you do have a 30% win rate, which is totally okay, you need a big reward to risk ratio in all of your trades that do win. And not just the reward, you need to hold it through to the end of that reward to risk ratio. Does that make sense? So which one are you working on then, Junior? Which of those two things are you working on? Letting Winners Run. I think that's probably the better one for you to choose. Now, I'll continue this if you don't mind. With choosing to fix the Letting Winners Run side, you have to be hyper aware of your thermometer on the getting stopped out side. Because you're going to get stopped out a lot, and you have to expect that. You have to keep your thermometer balanced, and this might be an issue. This might be why you don't let your winners run, is because all the stop outs might be heating up your thermometer a little bit too much, that you're not trading in a balanced mindset enough to hold your winners all the way. That could be the root cause. That might be where you want to start looking for correcting this. Yes, Junior, you're correct, and especially with options. You're right, and that makes sense why you aren't using hard stops on the stock charts. You're right. Like I said, there's nothing inherently wrong with that. It's just the combination of the two. So if you keep getting stopped out, it's not about the capital loss, it's about the mental loss, because every trade you take, you're risking capital and mental, right? So you have that bit of mental risk in those trades. So even if you can stomach the capital risk and the capital loss every time you stop out after a few cents, even in an option contract, It's that mental risk that you're experiencing, and that wears you down over time subconsciously. Deep, deep, deep down in there. Just loss after loss after loss after loss. Oh, finally a big win. But all that does is cover up and bandage the trauma, if you will, of all of those losses. But those emotions are still in there. That feeling is still in there. That doesn't just cure and balance your thermometer. Right? It might make you feel good for the moment, but it's not a fix. Unless it happens consistently. Mental aspect doesn't affect you that much. So if the mental aspect doesn't affect you that much, the capital aspect doesn't affect you that much, then I don't know why you're not a millionaire. I have no idea what I'm talking about. You should be a millionaire by now, buddy. If everything's working out that way. If you've mastered the mental and the capital, then what's wrong? What could possibly be wrong then? All right, time to do today's Wordle. Everybody's sending me their results. It's an interesting vowel not to have. I'm not showing this because I don't know if anybody watching doesn't want to. The losses don't affect my trades. Only obstacle in the way is letting winners run. Yeah, but I'm telling you, man, that there's a root to that of why you don't let the winners run. And a lot of things, especially in trading, what I love about trading so much is it teaches you the ability to learn, realize, and respect that when you're looking at something wrong, the path to fixing it, the origination of that issue, is not a direct connection. It's like when you hear about all the different connections through your body, that your lower back might be hurting because of a weakness in your right shoulder. Stuff like that. It might seem counterintuitive. You might think, oh, my shoulders are strong, but it's the slightest imbalance between your shoulders that end up resulting in an issue in your lower back. Even though you might not realize you have big, strong shoulders, you might not realize that there's a very, very, very slight imbalance that then causes that issue. So even if you think the mental aspect doesn't affect you much, that's the direction that it points when you don't let your winners run. And it's not the mental aspect of, there is a little bit to it. And I'd have to have like an actual conversation one-on-one with you about this. And this would be a much deeper conversation. If you don't think that you deserve the money for winning. Like if there's some root cause from your childhood or from the way you were brought up or the life situation you're in right now that you don't think you deserve that money, then you might not let the winners run. That's a deep subconscious thing to work through that takes some time. But if that's not the case, which I can't really go through that on stream, so that's why I don't always touch on that aspect. That's more in the mentorship stuff. It's usually people who think that they can handle the losses and they're okay with the losses, that it's not actually true. That's usually the case. That it's not actually true. they think that they can handle the losses, when in reality, they're just really good at compartmentalizing the losses. But they're still there. Those emotions are still there. The mental capital that you have risked and then lost is still there. And you're feeling it in some regard, just subconsciously. And it's not in your conscious, so you're not thinking about it. You don't realize what it's doing to the inner workings of your brain and the way you associate it to different aspects of your trading, such as not letting your winners run. So I guess do this work on your own. Think through 2 different options you could look through. 1, either you don't think you deserve the money, or 2, you actually aren't as okay with the losses as you think you are. Figure out, look into those. It might be something else you might find steering off in a different direction, but those are 2 good starting points to look into why you aren't letting your winners run. All right, let's keep doing this Wordle. And by the way, Junior, the whole millionaire comment was a joke. Just by fixing that, you won't be a millionaire, right? You need to... People have this understanding that if you're trading with like $200 and you're able to make a consistent 10%, that you'll be a millionaire. It doesn't really work that way. Because you reach levels... like when I first started trading, I switched to Forex for a bit, so that I could use the leverage. I didn't have much money. I traded $300 up to 9,000. But once I got to that 9,000 level, it became less... It got to the point where it's a different type of trading. I was now trading against the algorithms. I realized that the edge wasn't quite there. And I didn't like that style of trading, so I stopped. But I also realized that you enter this new stage where you have to like pretty much learn everything all over again. You start from so it's, just because you can make 10% consistently now at this level of your trading doesn't mean you'll be able to do that at the next level. It's like in life. Every time you have level 1 right here, you get higher and higher and higher in that level. Now all of a sudden you're way above everybody else in level 1. But as soon as you cross over that divide into level 2, now you're a beginner again. You're a beginner compared to everybody else in level 2, and you keep working your way up, Now you're a top dog in level 2. You cross that line, that barrier over to level 3. Now you're a beginner again. You're a beginner compared to everybody else who's in level 3 here. And in the market, if you're a beginner at your current level, you're going to keep losing. You have to keep fighting and grinding to be able to push yourself forward. The cream rises to the top. So if you're a beginner in the level, everybody else is going to have better control over emotions and certain moves than you are. They'll be on the winning side of the trade. You'll be on the losing, because trading's a zero-sum game. There's always a winner and a loser. And if you're the beginner of that new level, you'll more often than not be that loser until you figure out a way to be the winner. Wordle. It's an interesting one. All right, need to think about words. This Roblox trade is, or Roblox is just going sideways. There's not really a new trade plan in that one, so I'm gonna move on. UPSD did end up breaking out, and it did double top, like I said. So the entry, I mean, this is close enough of a test for this big of a move. So the entry, stop. Yeah. These big movers today. Like I said, the break of the highs and the lows, I tend to avoid on a 20% mover. Just because it doesn't have that much more room to go. Unless it's some massive parabolic move. But that's a completely different situation. These slow trends that are up 20%, not as good. SPY is just going sideways. Yeah, Roblox is kind of just following SPY. Yeah, all the other gap downs not doing much. Just a very... TWLO. What is this sorting by? I'd like to sort by volume. Roblox and apps. Apps and AFRM. Let's look at those. You've been trading AFRM a lot. That's not AFRM. That is. Good volume, but nothing else. Just sloppy. Is Whale slipping in again? Yeah, I think so. He was supposed to try to be here today. But then he's done working, so we should see him tomorrow. I caught up with him yesterday in the afternoon. All right, let's think about words here. Let's think about words. Can't be any of that. I think it's a hard C. Hopefully that's not giving away too much for all of you. Yo, don't forget to like the stream. Don't forget to like the stream. I need to go do that too. Give myself some support. Why do we have to do this every day? Such bad design. Hey, Max. You're looking good today. Thank you. All right. I don't know where Nadish is today. Ooh, my surfer's elbow's still there. Damn. I really fucked up my elbow, didn't I? It's been like 2 months. Probably need to do some intentional rehabilitation work on it. Oh, fuck. Anyways, I think it's... I think it's this. Oh. Yeah, I don't want to do a double letter though. Do I do it? Do I do the double letter? Do I just go for it? See if I can get it in 2 guesses? I'm gonna do it because it knocks out some decent letters. Damn it. I knew the location of the first letter, so that was a completely wasted guess. I got no other information out of it, other than, I guess, confirming what I already knew, but that's a waste. I already knew. I already deduced that. Oh, is it... Is it this? No, what? 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 That's not a word. This is awful. I'm knocking out every letter. Are you kidding me? That's my worst Wordle yet. My worst one yet, and I guess I knew. Fuck. That's obnoxious. That was not cool. That was not cool. What the fuck? Wow. That's weird. That's so weird and annoying. I am so unhappy with this Wordle. Are you playing Scramble? I don't know what that is. Wordle. I'm not gonna show it so you could do it, but it's what everybody's talking about. It's the word game based in the UK that the New York Times recently bought. You guess words and shit. It's kind of like, not really like Scrabble, but. I'm not happy with that. I'm not happy with that. My average is like a 3.5. You get 6 guesses. My average is like 3.5. I got it in 5 guesses, and somebody I know guessed the same first 2 guesses and then got lucky on the 3rd one and got it in 3. I'm unhappy. Unhappy. This market's boring. This market is boring. I apologize for the boring content. All the gap downs now coming back up. Gonna head out? Yeah, I don't blame you. I might head out soon too. Yeah, of course, man. I will give you as much advice and teachings and whatnot as I can, but at the end of the day, I'm not a millionaire trader either, so I can help you get to that next level, the levels that I have reached, and I can teach you what I know, what I've studied the most, what I've practiced the most, and what I have the most experience in is not trading with $1 million, as a Twitch viewer that we used to have in chat used to say or point out. It is the psychological side, the habitual side, the side of pinpointing what that root cause of your issues may be, even if it's not a direct path. That's what I'm good at figuring out. So the more we talk about this, the more we work through it, the more I can help you figure that out. Yeah, no worries with Roblox. Look, like we said, low win rate. If you're getting stopped out a lot and you're trying to catch these fast spikes of momentum, low win rate, you figure it out. I'm looking forward to getting you on the Inlight app soon, because then you can track all these Roblox-like trades that you say are a 6 chart setup and see the patterns with them. Maybe there's a pattern that you should use my rule, not directly because it's my rule, but that you should use a rule similar of don't trade that pattern when it's beyond a certain percentage of a gap, like 20%, something like that. Maybe. There's a lot of factors there. Hey Nadish, welcome. How are you doing today? You're late. I'm wrapping up. How are you though? You take any trades since we last spoke? Have you taken any trades? Catch you tomorrow, Junior. See you then. Rune UDST. What was your setup? How'd the trade go? A win, a loss? How do you feel? How's your mentality? How are your emotions? How do your feet feel after that? You didn't punch your desk too hard, I hope. Ladies, don't forget to like the stream. Oh, I'm so upset with American food. I'm trying to be bulking right now and I can't even eat 1,000 calories in a day. Exited early due to fear. You and Junior, and you're exiting early. What fear? We talked about this yesterday, man. What fear are you going through? How'd that happen? What's going on? Talk to me, vent. What are you afraid of? Be honest. Be honest with me. Be honest with yourself. What are you afraid of? Dude, a losing streak, I thought I should... It's fair. You know, your thermometer's cold, maybe. With this losing streak, you're not making profits. And so you're sitting back thinking, I just want to secure a small win, get that bag, and walk. Have a nice day for the rest of the day. But if that turns into a loss, that's a big gamble, because if it's another loss, or even if you cut off that win and it's not enough to satisfy the losing streak, then you still have a struggle with trading emotions. So maybe that's not the solution. One solution is to just lower your share size, or the risk. I know you're not trading shares. The risk you're trading in these cryptos. That's one solution. That's for if you're experiencing like that video I showed you yesterday. If your thermometer's a little bit too hot, you have that revenge trading going on, that frustration, lower your share size. Or lower the capital risk that you're putting into each trade. Get these small trades so that the losses aren't big. The wins aren't going to be big either, but you have to hold them all the way through. Another thing that I would suggest for you is to make sure, remember, writing down on paper, we talked about this, write down every single trade plan on paper before you take the trade. What your stop is, what your entry is, what your target is. No ifs, ands, or buts. Write it down on paper in front of you. You cannot argue with it, and stick to that. Stick to it, follow your plans, and then after you do that 10 times, you'll notice a little bit of a pattern. After you do it 20 times, 50 times, 100 times, you'll notice a big pattern. Then you'll be able to adjust how you create your plans based on that pattern. Once you're able to do that, you can adjust your pattern recognition to be a little bit better, make some changes to your trading structure, and do it all over again. Trading is very, very systematic. No matter how intuitive based of a trader you are, like me personally, I'm a very intuitive trader. I like to feel stocks, feel where they're going, and really hone in on the emotions of the trader on the other side. But even if you're that same style of trader, it's a very, very systematic job. You need to track all your numbers. You need to track everything. If you don't approach it systematically, you'll just get lost. I'm speaking from experience on that. I didn't appreciate the systematic nature of trading for the longest time. I didn't, and I didn't have a mentor to knock this into my head like you do right now. Respect that. That's why I'm building the Enlight app, to help traders take a more systematic approach and have the mentor keep bashing that into their head as brutally as I could say that. Over and over and over. The Inlight app, all it does is it takes trading to a new, it makes the systematic aspect of trading easier, and it gives you a mentor and a coach and a bunch of courses to help you out along the way, so you know what to do with your system, how to build that system, how to tweak it, how to hone it in. It's like a machine. It's a machine that you're constantly oiling and tightening things, loosening things, moving things around. You can always continue to optimize a machine. Take away less moving parts, make it simpler so it doesn't break it as often. Add more moving parts so that you might increase the torque a little bit, but you're also increasing the power output. Lots of different ways to do that. So I'm making that Inlight app to help you out. It's been a boring morning though, I'm not gonna lie. So the trade exited as it touched the trend line. Let me check this out. You exited as it touched the trend line. I'm not too sure what you meant, but again, you have a support level in there, unless you drew that in after the fact. Did you draw that in after the fact? I'm giving you a response in the Discord server right now so that other people can learn from this. All right, saying something. So I'll say it verbally as well, just to help, you know, if I can explain it better. Your entry was decent on that reversal. I personally don't love getting into a short right before a test of a trend line because you expect it to bounce off of that trend line and continue trending up. You can't just expect a trend line or a support level of some sort, whether it's horizontal or angled, to break. You can't expect that. So I would have personally waited for it to break under that trend line, pull back. You can see there's a green candle that pulls back, test that trend line. I have a video for you. Hold up. I have a video for you. Let me show you this because this is almost exactly that trade that you just took. But it's a way that you could trade that setup that your eye is already able to see, which I can see, right? That you're able to see that. Let me say see 3 more times to be more ironic. Because you can see that, here's a way that you might want to consider trading it. Which one did I do on YouTube? Or did I not upload this one yet? Give me a second. Yeah. Okay. This is literally my most recent YouTube video. There's the YouTube video. I think there's a longer form Twitch clip. How long is this? 7 minutes. No, it's not longer. So there's that for you. Literally my latest YouTube video. Watch that. Because you should not, I'll tell you this. You should not have been stopped out on that trade. You should have made profits. Absolutely. Absolutely, you should have made profits. Even if you took the entry that you took, you should have secured profit at the break of that trend line. Well, watch it again. Watch it again, because clearly it didn't stick. As it tests that trend line, that could have been a target. As it tests the previous low, that could have been a target. Even if you like having a further target, which I noticed a lot of crypto and forex traders like to have these massive targets, as it's coming back up and trending up and setting a new higher high, a new higher low, a new higher high, it's clearly trending up. At some point in there, you should have in your system a way to get out and lock in your profits. Because that was a good move, that was a good trade. There's no reason you shouldn't have had profits in that. And I mean that as a compliment. That's not the link. What is going on here? Ay, hold up. Stream problems. Nope, y'all don't need to see that. Wait, I already have this open. Hold up. Pop out chat. Discord, edit, get rid of that link, add this link. There we go. Watch that again. Watch that again. Sorry for all the moving things on screen. Every time I change windows, it does that. All right, I think I'm gonna wrap up the stream in a couple minutes here. You know, YouTube's supposed to be good with this algorithm of, you know, finding a bunch of viewers, but I think people are right that, and I was right in my initial assumption, is that it's only, YouTube is best for like massive streamers, because it only shows when you search something and the algorithm is suggesting a stream instead of a video, which first of all, it will prioritize videos, but it'll put the streams at the top. That's contradictory. It prioritizes in the videos in the sense of showing more videos than live streams, but it does put the live streams ahead. But it only shows like 2 or 3. Even if there are maybe 50 live streams that are applicable to those keywords that were searched, it'll only show 2 or 3. And there's no way somebody's going to randomly discover a stream like this with 1 viewer. Because those 2 or 3, unless you're literally looking up in-light trading on YouTube, those 2 or 3 are going to be people with more viewers. If you're looking up like stock trading, day trading, stuff like that. Whereas on Twitch, you look up day trading, you see a list of everybody, and you can see the smaller streamers. And you could scroll through them and try and find a smaller streamer to watch and just be curious, because honestly, most of the bigger streamers are not that great. It's a hot take. In the trading space, at least. Unless you're looking for callouts and all that. Never used Twitch. I streamed on Twitch for 600 hours. The entire year of 2021. I streamed on Twitch. And a little bit of 2020. I streamed for 600 hours. Got to an average of like 20 viewers per stream. It was great. Had like 20 subs each month. Was making a little bit of money. It was... The community there was better, honestly, than YouTube. There were people chatting constantly. There's always 5 or 6 people just having conversations in chat. But then it flatlined there, and it actually decreased and went down to an average of 10 viewers per stream and like 3 people consistently talking in chat. Different people each day. Well, I mean, there were some regulars, of course, but like about 3 randoms that would come in and talk each day. But it flatlined there. So, no, I don't do Twitch now. I'm on YouTube right now. I switched. I switched because it flatlined, and I realized, well, if this is the maximum of my... by flatline, I mean like for like 6 months. It was just not improving. Those numbers could not get more... I would go crazy on like Twitter and Instagram, like trying to bring outside followers to the Twitch streams. It just wasn't very fruitful. So I switched to YouTube because I figured, well, if like I'm posting YouTube videos, right, linking to the Twitch, if the YouTube isn't driving enough traffic to the Twitch, and my goal is to grow the YouTube channel overall on my social media endeavors, because it's the most profitable, it's also the most in line with what I enjoy. I also love the streaming. Why not blend the two and stream on YouTube? And then that helps boost the YouTube channel as well, because I'm streaming on YouTube. The issue is the way the YouTube algorithm works for streams is, unless you're doing a gaming stream where you're on YouTube gaming and people can scroll through, there's no YouTube trading where you can scroll through trading streams. So you get buried really easily. Yeah, it's an interesting journey in my career with Enlight. The year of streaming on Twitch, it pretty much turned into the 2 or 3 streamers who just sold out and gave AMC GME calls every single day when all that stuff was happening, when the GameStop stuff was happening. I didn't do that. I intentionally didn't do that because I take pride in quality. And I wasn't just going to give a bunch of games, but that was the trigger word of everybody who was coming in to Twitch and YouTube, watching live streams, learning how to trade in 2021. That's what they were looking up. And so those people blew up. They ended up being on the news and everything. And at that point, when there's 2 or 3 streams that just take over a category on Twitch, it doesn't really change from there. I know from a vast experience of Twitch. How these people get so many views through ads? People are just okay watching 90 seconds to 3 minutes of ads. I used to run ads a bunch. Not a bunch, but Twitch makes you run a certain number of ads, in a sense. So people just do it, or they sub. It's $5 a month, and then you have no ads. That's what most people do. Like when I said I would have 20 subs, that's 20 people who are paying $5 a month every month to not watch ads. But for the most part, it was just to support me. I did the bare minimum of ads. Some people obviously do much more and make a significant amount of money. I only made like $10 on ads in the whole 600 hours of work I put into Twitch, plus work outside of the actual streaming. But the 600 hours of streaming an entire year On Twitch, I made like $10 on ads. I don't mind it, honestly. Watching a 90-second ad to support somebody who I know, because I've done it, I know how much effort they're putting into what they're doing. And if that's a little bit of support I can give them, if maybe their ad watch time of, like, Twitch has that information, how many people are watching their ads and watching them all the way through without clicking off. They have that information. That information gets sold to companies, and that happens to help that streamer secure brand deals, then I'm happy to help. All right, everything's just going sideways. Everything is going sideways. I'm gonna end the stream here. Look at some apartments. I appreciate you coming in, chatting, having good conversations, all your questions. I hope I was able to help you a little bit regarding that one trade. If you have any more questions about that, just send me a message on Discord. We can chat. We can continue to talk about it. I'm here. You live in the US? I do now. I just moved back to the US a week ago. I used to live in South Africa. Closer to your time zone, which I think is how I ended up getting a lot of Indian viewership, is YouTube knew that I was in that time zone, closer to you than I was to the United States. So I think it made sense to the algorithm for who they're pushing my content to. But I'm happy because it helped you find my channel, and now I have you as a bit of a student, as a viewer, as whatever you define yourself as here. As a Inlight Spark is how we put it. Inlight Sparks, that's the term for, like, you know, my viewership here, but it obviously playing on the theme of fire and light with the word spark. In the grand scheme of Inlight, the sparks are going to be the students. Your friend lives in LA? Nice. I live on the East Coast. The issue with living in LA is, one, it's expensive unless you get a house with a lot of people and have a lot of roommates, which is fine. The other thing is trading in LA, trading on the West Coast. I did it. I used to live on the West Coast. It's a nightmare. You start trading at 6:30 a.m. And so if you want to have a morning routine, you have to wake up at like 4 a.m. And that's not even much of a morning routine. Like, I, on the East Coast, will wake up, I'm waking up now on average at 5 a.m. 5 to 6. I'm trying to get more sleep, but my body's just waking me up at between 5 and 6. And that gives me 3 to 4 hours of a morning, whereas waking up at 4 a.m. on the West Coast gives you less than 2 hours of a morning, and you're still waking up at 4 a.m. And I love my morning routines, so yeah, that was a nightmare. I hope he's happy in LA though. So it can be a very magical place to live for a lot of people. All right, it's 11 a.m. You have a good night, Nadej. I appreciate you swinging in. I'm streaming again tomorrow. Try and get here on time, at least by the US market open, 9:30 EST. I might stream a little bit before that, but at least be here by then. We can chat and I expect to have a couple more people in here tomorrow who I've been talking to. One of my mentorship students is going to be here tomorrow, so you'll be able to talk to him, ask him questions about that. But yeah, thank you. And everybody who's watching the VOD, thank you as well. Yeah, no worries. I'm not offended by you being late. It's more so for your sake, because I feel bad you just got here and then 10 minutes later I'm ending the stream. I'd love to provide more value to you than that, but I think we covered a decent amount for you to learn and hold on to. All right, I'm gonna get going. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
If I get up off my bed, just
get up off my bed just for once, will it rain down on me? If I get up off my bed just for once, will it rain down on me? If I get up off my bed just for once, will it rain down on me? If I get up off my bed just for once, will it rain down on me? The next day I wake on the side of the street and I say that I'm clean. And if I get up off my bed just for once, will it rain down on me? If I get up off my bed just for once, will it rain down on me? If I get up off my bed just for once, will it rain down on me? If I get up off my bed just for once, will it rain down on me? If I get up off my bed just for once, will it rain down on me?
What have I got? I got no one to care for. They don't need me.